It is a little chilly this morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Just allow me the grace to just check that everything is working perfectly and that we have sound. Come on, come on. Hi, if you're waiting, please give me just a moment. Happens every time. I bring it up and then I have to. There we go. All right, I don't know why, but when I originally bring it up, it doesn't play. So we are live. Hello and welcome to today's Tap and Talk. And today we're actually doing more of a wealth workshop. So I do hope that you have a pen and paper, because while we're tapping, I'm also going to take you through a framework about how to clear wealth. This is about applying the right mindset, the wealth and consciousness mindset, and using a proven framework that actually creates the results that you want, because you need both. One without the other is like it's like a pizza without the topping. It doesn't work, right? So we're going to be doing the tapping. So you can start by tapping with me. Now, if you don't want to do tapping like this, you can do tapping like this, which is just on the sides of the fingers, at the tip of the fingers, right next to the cuticle of the nail. So you can do that if you don't want to do this, but I just like doing this. And it's become a normal everyday thing for me now. I swear if I tapped in my sleep, I wouldn't be surprised. I tap so much. It is so transformational. It is life-changing. So if you are not living the life that you truly desire and living it on your terms, and everything isn't working out exactly the way you want it, then tap more. Seriously, tap more. Tap on whatever is blocking you. I tap on everything all the time. And I'm always bringing up more stuff because we're just this incredibly complex labyrinth. Our mindsets have been programmed by so many different influences in our past, and the traumas and the experiences and what was demonstrated to us, and what was demonstrated to us by our parents, by authority figures, by media. You've got a lot of stuff going on back there, right? So this is not a one and done. Sorry, just isn't. This is about dedicating yourself to mastery. And it's a very rewarding, it's work, but it is the most rewarding work you will ever do. And it's the most transformational work you will ever do, with the most impactful results you will ever have. This is why I do these tap and talks, is to get you tapping. So we will probably do some targeted tapping today on different elements of this wealth framework that I'm going to work through with you. But it's important that we look at the framework. So this today is about setting your goals correctly so you can actually achieve your goals, okay? And it's not just about outcomes. Obviously, you need outcome goals. But do you realize that you don't have a lot of control over outcome goals? You have almost complete control over performance goals. What do I mean? So performance goals it's identifying the outcome that you want, which is the symptom of what? The outcome that you want is the symptom and the result of the actions that you take. So action or performance related goals are things that you have complete control over. And if you celebrate your ability to take the action that you have identified with the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding that you have is going to help you to make progress, then it is going to just transform your results, transform your mindset, is going to transform everything about how you approach life, how you approach your the results that you want to achieve. And ultimately, it's going to transform your future. Because if you are analyzing your success according to the progress that you're making and the action that you're taking, then this is very beneficial for your mindset, for your longevity, for your commitment, for your resilience. All incredibly important on this journey called life, no matter what you want to achieve in life. So instead of getting disappointed by an outcome that didn't happen because of the action that you didn't take was just not the right action, or there were external influences that were unforeseen, just there's all kinds of crap that happens. No matter how good your plan, no matter how perfectly you execute, you can't guarantee the outcome. There is no such thing as a guaranteed outcome. But you can have much, much greater control over the actions that you take and the performance that you have and your level of expertise and experience that you bring to the table. That is all within your direct control. So, okay, so let's look at this framework. Okay, so this is the CLEAR framework, CLEAR. That's my acronym for setting goals that actually are going to help you to get the result that you want. So the first part of the acronym is C, and it's exactly what the acronym actually states. Clarify. Get clarity on your vision, your mission, your purpose, on the outcome that you want to achieve. Get absolutely crystal clear on what it is that you want to achieve, on the life that you want to live, on the outcomes that you want to experience. Because remember, this is all an illusion. It's all a holographic projection. It is your focus and your attention combined with the action that you take that gets you the results that you want. So if you are not clear on the outcome, that's like saying, I want to go on a holiday, and going into a travel agent and saying, I want to go on a holiday. Okay, ma'am, sir, where do you want to go? I don't know. Surprise me. Okay, what's your budget? Nah, don't have one. What kind of experiences do you want to have? That's up to you. Right, do you want to relax or do you want an adventure? Nah, either's good. Like, what do you think you're going to get? Who knows? You could go on the most, for some person, would be the most amazing holiday ever. And for you, it might be the worst experience you've ever had in your life. You might actually prefer to be on a cruise, relaxing on the sun deck by the pool, but you're dropped in the middle of the African jungle on this incredible safari adventure that was not what you're anticipating. But if you lack specificity, clarity on what it is that you want, you could get anything. The universe will dish up anything because it doesn't know what you want. And remember that the subconscious mind does not understand language, and the subconscious mind is in control here. So you've got to speak the language of the subconscious: visual, feeling, emotion. That is the language of the subconscious. This is why every performance and success coach who is worth anything talks about visualization, talks about vision boards, and you could put up a mind movie, but some visual representation, and then you add feeling to it, and you feed that as the framework to your subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind goes to work on that without you doing anything else. The subconscious mind will go to work on that and feed you the inspiration. It will bring you the opportunities. It will bring you people into your world and knowledge, courses that will actually help you to achieve that vision by taking the action on that inspiration. Okay, so the next part of the CLEAR framework is learn. So identify, once you know where you're going and you have absolute clarity, Identify what knowledge gap you need to fill to be able to achieve this goal, this vision, this dream. So there's undoubtedly a lot of stuff that you don't know yet. And that's okay. That's cool. Start where you're at. Use what you have. Do what you can. But identify first, what is it that you need to learn? What knowledge do you need to acquire? What skills do you need to develop? And be hungry to learn. Be hungry to experience things that give you feedback. Remember, failure is just feedback. So all the time that you are taking action, you are learning by the feedback and the result that you get. That didn't work. This is why. I understand now. I will take different action. Okay? So learn, be hungry for learning, and never judge yourself for the learning that you experience. As in, never judge yourself for the things that don't work. It's all a learning experience. We're all making this up as we go along. We're all learning as we go. Every time I take action, I learn something. I get feedback. So the next part of the acronym is E, for engineer a plan. So failing to plan is planning to fail. Sorry, almost always mix that saying up. Failing to plan is planning to fail. So it doesn't have to be a detailed plan. It doesn't have to be a 250-page dossier, but have some kind of a plan. You've got clear on your vision. You're learning your way forward. And when you bring together a plan, then you have certainty about the action that you need to take. A lot of entrepreneurs or people who are just driven to succeed at anything, sports people, anything, they get overwhelmed, not because they're not capable, not because it's all too hard, but because they don't have a clear and defined set of actions to take that they have identified are optimum to get the outcome that they want. Now, this doesn't mean that they're actually optimum. It just means that according to what they know and the knowledge that they have, that seems like the optimum thing to do at the time. Now, if you want to take that to the next level, if you think of a high performance athlete, now that athlete, with the knowledge that they have, they can go out and they can do some training. They can go to the gym and work out and get fitter and stronger. But if they really want to refine that, what do? They get a high performance coach who specializes in that particular sport, who understands the body, who understands the musculature and what muscles need to be strengthened to be able to get the optimum performance. What kind of training to do, the amount of training to do, the type of training to do to get the optimum result out of the athlete's body. Because the athlete's success is purely reliant on, well, not purely. So there's two things. Well, there's multiple things, but you're looking at mindset primarily and physical capability, right? So you've got natural talent that is all a part of that, but it is the specific training and the amount of training. And then you've got to look at they coming into an event, they've got to make sure that they peak their performance at the event. So it's this layered training approach right up to the event. It's all very complex and technical, and this is where the coach comes in. And this is in everything in business. This is why coaches are invaluable in your life. So if you want to really get great results, then find a coach who specializes in what you need right now, depending on where you're at. It's all kinds of different coaches for all kinds of different things. And you need a coach who's going to assist you with where you're at right now to get the results that you want. So, of course, you can do a lot on your own. You'll just get there faster with somebody in your corner who knows what they're doing and can help you to unlock the genius that is within you, because you have genius within you. Okay, so A is for action. This is where the rubber meets the road. Consistent, aligned, inspired action. So consistent action every day. You need to be doing something to work to make progress toward your vision, your goal, your dream every day. Aligned. It is aligned with who you are. It is aligned with your values. It is aligned with what's important to you and what you stand for. It is aligned with the outcome that you want. But it is in alignment with who you truly are. If you are out of alignment, you're going nowhere fast. Serious. It is that important. Alignment is key. Inspired, in spirit. So once you are clear on your goal and you have this laser-like focus and you are putting attention on your vision, your goal, your dream every single day, the universe, source, God, the divine, higher consciousness, and your subconscious, unconscious, superconscious all work together to go, oh, okay, now we know what you want. We know the path. However you want to refer to it. These higher powers know the path. They know what you need. They know when you need it. They know how to get there as quickly as possible. And you will be fed inspiration. You will be given guidance. The important thing is that you need to be paying attention all the time. Well, not all the time. That's exhausting. And you can't be awake 24/7. But you need to be paying attention to the guidance and the inspiration that you're being given. What is showing up in your world? What little niggles have you got about doing something or learning something? What resonates deeply with you? This is mindfulness that supports your success. And this is super, super, super important. So work with spirit, partner with the universe. The universe is the greatest partner you will ever have. So it's really important that you set yourself up for success by utilizing the greatest force that you have access to. Like, you are not an island. You are not alone. You are never alone. Universe, source, God, spirit, the divine, the creator. However you think of that omnipotent power, that ultimate source that you came from, by the way, you came from source. You are directly connected to source. Source is actually within you. You know, I was listening to a Joe Rogan and Chase Hughes podcast this morning. Incredible. Chase Hughes, amazing man. And in actual fact, Joe Rogan brought up these pictures side by side of a human neuron in the brain, so a brain cell or a brain neuron, and a picture of the universe. Identical. Well, obviously they had slight differences, but you wouldn't be able to tell which was which from the actual picture. It's insane. As within, so without. We have a universe within us, and we are of the universe, and we are the universe. There is no such thing as separation, guys. There is no such thing as separation. We are source. The source is us. It's all one. Those ancient teachings. We are all one. We are all connected. Separation is an illusion. It is a construct. That neighbor that you're fighting with, they are you and you are them. You're fighting with yourself, basically. So that's the A. So the R is release. Relax, allow, lean in, let go. Release your attachment to the outcome. Release your attachment to the outcome. Because what happens is people get all tied in knots because it's not working out as fast as they want. We all want everything yesterday, don't we? Every single one of us. Hi, me too. I wanted everything yesterday. I still want everything that I want today. I wanted it yesterday. But this leads, if you allow this to dominate your decision making, your action taking, your emotional state, and your emotional well being, then you're going to live in a state of permanent disappointment because it never happens as fast as we want. Well, almost never. Sometimes it happens faster than we expect, and then we're like, wait, what? What just happened? That's a rare occurrence. So when you release your emotional attachment to the immediate outcome, you're setting yourself up for success because you're not living in a state of disappointment and confusion. Live in a state of curiosity. Okay, I took the action that I considered to be the most effective action I could take with what I know. You don't know what you don't know. Stop beating yourself up about it. However, that action was not optimum. It didn't get me the result. So I now have more data. I now have more understanding. And with this new understanding, I'm going to take this action and see what happens. Curiosity. If you approach this entire journey with an intense curiosity, not only will you be setting yourself up for wild success in the future, it will also be a lot more fun. And this is why I said you've got to be dedicated, committed, and basically insatiable at learning. An insatiable learner, insatiably curious. Say that 5 times fast. Insatiably curious. So we're not going to attempt it again. Be insatiable and curious, because that will actually feed you getting the result you want faster. The thing is, if you are in states of disappointment and if you're in fear, like you're afraid of success, you're afraid of failure, you're afraid to make a mistake, you're afraid of loss, you're afraid of judgment and criticism, if that is dominating your field, your world, your mindset, and you are living in this permanent state, either intensely or even in the background, like in the operating system, then that is resistance running the system, running the show all the time. You will never be able to succeed, or it's going to be very, very hard to succeed if what's dominating your field is resistance. So now you have the framework. Okay. So clarify. Take a moment now to think about what is your vision, your goal, your dream. What life do you want to live? What outcomes do you want to achieve? Just take a moment. I'm not going to give you a lot of time because you can do this later according to this framework. Now, what is it that you need to learn? What is it that you don't know that's going to be an incredibly important part of this process? What courses do you need to learn? What skills do you need to develop? Now, the plan. Engineer a plan. So, what is the plan around what is the next most logical step? Just think about that. What is the next most logical step? Based on what you know, based on where you're at, start where you're at, use what you have, do what you can. What is the next most logical step? Then take action on that. When are you going to do that? When would now be a good time to take action on that plan that you just identified? I'm not exactly being subtle here. And then relax, allow, lean in, and let go. Now, of course, your mindset is a big part of this. So, integrated within every single one of those steps is working on your mindset, working on your traits and characteristics, becoming the person you need to be to achieve things that you can't even imagine are even possible. But everything is possible. Think about it from this perspective. If you are limitless, which you are, just saying, and if anything is possible, how big will you dare to dream? And then working on your mindset, because mindset is the foundation of absolutely everything. So just start by tapping on the inside of the eye and repeat after me. We're going to do a little bit of targeted tapping. I choose to be serious about my wealth. I choose to take specific action to create wealth. I know that as I take action, I attract wealth a lot more easily. I'm excited about taking action toward my goals and dreams. I'm excited to take consistent action toward creating my dream life. I'm serious about my goals. I choose to take specific action toward my goals. I choose to relax, allow, lean in, and let go. And take action from a place of curiosity. I take action from a place of possibility. I choose to play to win. I choose to know anything is possible for me. I choose to show up for myself every single day and take specific action toward my dreams. I choose to work on my identity and become the successful person I know I can be. I choose to do the work to release the blocks, the fears, the doubts. I choose to identify what's holding me back and let that shit go. I choose to be determined to achieve my goals. I choose to focus on my actions and how they will help me to accomplish my goals. I choose to be the best and most powerful version of me every single day. I am making my goals and dreams non-negotiable. I am shifting my identity to a wealthy and successful person. I'm leaving behind the old identity that has been holding me back and playing small. I'm ready to become the version of me who is capable of achieving anything. I am ready to back myself all the way. Because I know I am limitless and I am capable of achieving anything I put my mind to. Okay, take a breath while you're still tapping. Okay, now a big part of this is your identity. So if you identify as somebody who is a failure, if you have adopted that as an identity, and by the way, nothing can define you, only what you allow to define you will define you. Nothing can define you. No label, no past results, no past failures, no past successes. Nothing defines you. Nothing limits you except what you allow to limit you. Now, of course, there are people who come in and say, oh, but I'm a midget and I want to play basketball. Sorry, no offense to midgets. But yeah, okay, all right, I get it. There are potentially, limiting conditions in certain things. But whatever you feel inspired, whatever dream you have, you are capable of achieving it in whatever your own unique way is. Right? So maybe somebody who's really, really tiny creates a league of basketball that is specifically for really, really, really tiny people, if that's what they want to do. If that is their vision, their goal, their dream to be a champion basketball player, then they could do that. Look at wheelchair basketball, for goodness sake, wheelchair tennis. Like, those guys are freaking incredible. They did not allow their physical constriction to limit their ability to achieve their goal, their vision, their dream. There are endless modifications that you can use. Think outside the box. If you're in a wheelchair, highly unlikely that you're going to play in the national NBA. Is it NBA? National Basketball Association in America? Sorry, forgive me. I'm not a basketball fan. But you get my point. You can still be a basketball champion if you're in a wheelchair. And remember that wealthy and successful people, one thing that differentiates them is they come from a place of possibility. They're always thinking from a place of what's possible. And there are always risks involved. But wealthy and successful people who are self-made and have achieved amazing things, they are playing to win. The vast majority of the population is playing not to lose. They're so risk averse that they hold themselves back and they don't do what's necessary. There is risk in everything. And if you don't want to risk failure, if you don't want to risk losing face, if you don't want to risk humiliation, because believe me, there's plenty of that out there. Plenty of it out there. But if you don't want to risk that, then you risk hiding away and never realizing your goals and dreams. Is that acceptable to you? What are you no longer willing to tolerate? What are you no longer willing to tolerate? That's an important question. So there you go. There's the clear framework for goal setting to set you up for success, to be able to achieve your goals. Remember, look at your action and your performance goals above and beyond your outcome goals. So the outcome goals are incredibly important. They come first. Then you've got to look at the action, the performance that you need to do, which achieves the actual outcome that you want. Now, I'm doing something very special, which is I am holding a coaching call. So this is part of the Wealth Identity Initiative. So shifting your identity to become the wealthy person that you need to be, clearing out the fears, doubts, blocks, and limiting beliefs. And I know that coaching is not necessarily accessible or affordable for everybody. So I am actually starting an initiative. I'm seeing if people want it, and it's free. And it is also part of my content creation strategy. So this is happening Friday week. So what's the date today? It's going to be the first week in July. I was going to run it this week, but I've decided to actually run it next week. So it's the first week in July. It's on Friday in Australia and Thursday in the United States. And it's basically a free group coaching call for conscious entrepreneurs. And I will be working with people in the hot seat one-on-one on that call. So if that appeals to you, if you want to work with me, if you want to clear your blocks, if you want to work with me and strategize about your future business or your current business, then you can register for that. I will put the link in the description. So make sure after this video, if you're interested, or you can reach out to me. If you've got my email address, email me and let me know that you want the link. And come and join us live, because it's going to be freaking awesome and transformational, and there's going to be lots of breakthroughs, and you get coaching with me. So if that's something that you think, yeah, I wouldn't mind experiencing that, then just know that all the recordings will actually be used for my content in future. So I love you loads. I think we have tapped our way into a better version of ourselves. Don't you think? So if you have enjoyed this, please remember to like and subscribe, comment below, let me know how this landed for you, how this impacted you, and what you took away from this. What was your greatest takeaway? And if you do want to work with me, then you can go to margueritacoach.com and check out the options there. I would love to work with you personally to help you to be the best and most powerful version of you and achieve whatever goal and dream you have in mind. All right. Until next time, love you loads. Bye for now.